I found out everything that it takes for a plant to grow. Time, water, sun, and dirt. Water, sun, good soil. That's a fact. And as I was thinking about it, I said, wow, this is absolutely correct when it comes to entrepreneurship. You are going to need sunlight, you need water, and you need good soil. Now, I do look at the water, however, as information. You have to keep feeding yourself with information. That's why we're here, to give information. But every call isn't about information, because I want to give you some light too. Listen, you can go to a workshop and you might like it because they're telling you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps to tell you exactly what to do. You need that 100%. But the best speakers are the speakers who give you information mixed with motivation. So some people say, well, I don't want any fluff. Well, I'm here to tell you that the thing that people call fluff is mandatory. It's necessary for your growth. Because you can't have all motivation and you walk away with no practical steps. You can't have all practical steps without some sort of inspiration, so that when you leave, you actually go revisit those notes, you actually do the thing. You have to continue to grow with information.
7:45 a.m. Catch me on the morning meetup, hosted by David Shanes.
I'm back home, and I was maybe 3 minutes late because I got home at like 5 something in the morning. No, I got home at 6. I flew into Atlanta at 5 something, got home at 6 something, and I had to even go in another room. And I was like, I need 45 minutes. If I can sleep for 45 minutes, I will be all right. And one of these days, I promised myself that one of these days, I'm gonna get a whole night's sleep. One of these days, I am going to go to sleep, and I'm going to wake up when I wake up. You know what I mean? Last time you went to sleep and woke up when you woke up? Not with an alarm clock, not with a child attacking you viciously by kicking you in the back. No responsibilities. Yeah, man, so that's the promise I made to myself. Nonetheless, I feel really, really good because I am not a hypocrite. I found out this morning that I am not a hypocrite. Yesterday, I found out that I am a hypocrite. Throughout the week, I find out all the time that I am not a hypocrite, man, because I actually do the work that is required to become successful. And I'm telling you all that you have to do the work. Outside of your uncomfortable situation, your uncomfortable environment, whatever it is for you, there's some uncomfortable things, some things that you do not want to do that you would easily be able to make an excuse about, and your friends would support it. Some of you have very, very valid excuses for not succeeding. Really valid excuses. And your friends would support it. And I think if I had an opportunity to share my excuse list, you would agree. You'd say, Dave, I feel you, bro. Like, it ain't working out, but it's not your fault. Look at all the things you got to deal with. And then Anna joins the chat. Good sleeping is essential for optimal brain function and processing. So don't be skipping it, people. I had a slightly different philosophy coming up. Slightly, not totally, but I had a slightly different philosophy. I actually have a slightly different philosophy now. But yes, you're right. Sleep is essential for optimal brain function. Too much, though. Too much. And what is sleep? I mean, sleep isn't necessarily all the time with your eyes closed, is it? I think relaxing. Listen, first off, you're not about to bait me, okay? Because you almost got me off path. I almost went a whole nother direction with this conversation. But I would like to happily report to you all that the stuff that I'm telling you all to do, I actually be doing it. Okay? Okay? There's some things that I don't want to do that I do anyway, in spite of. That I'm going to take my daughter to work with me today, just to ensure that I don't get any sleep, that I don't have a minute to get a nap somewhere. But anyway, growth and momentum this month, because we want to close out the month with growth, momentum. We want to be rolling into 2024. We want to be rolling into 2024, okay? So here we go. I was doing some research, and I didn't have to look far. It was really the first page of Google. But I found out everything that it takes for a plant to grow, a flower to grow. And I'm definitely going to be going Baptist preacher style this morning, okay? And I'm going to relate the growth to real life. So this is going to seem similar to a sermon. And I'm sure your pastor put something like this together before, okay? And as I was mapping out what I was going to share this morning, I really felt Baptist preacherish. I'm like, oh, this is exactly the sermon that a preacher would give. But I don't care because it's good. And I want you guys to remember it, and I want you to know it, and I want you to identify these things for yourself, okay? Do we know in the chat all that it takes to grow? A plant, flower. Do we know what it takes? Essentially 3 elements. If you thought really, really hard about it, you get it. It's really just 3 elements. Time, water, sun, and dirt. Water, sun, good soil. That's a fact. So if there is a seed, there's 3 elements that it takes to growth. And as I was thinking about it, I said, wow, this is absolutely correct when it comes to entrepreneurship. You are going to need sunlight, you need water, and you need good soil. Sunlight, water, and good soil. Now, unless a plant is in the right environment, it cannot grow. Like these 3 elements have to exist. And if you take one away, it doesn't work. So if you have a plant and you take away the sunlight that is required, and you only water it to death and give it the most amazing soil, it does not grow. Or if it has proper sunlight and the best soil that money could buy, but it's not being watered, there's no moisture, it doesn't grow. If you give that same seed, amazing, I'm talking about South Carolina sunlight, that good old Atlanta sunlight. I'm talking about that Virginia in the spring, where it's not Miami. I can't go Miami because Miami would be 150 degrees. But I'm talking about that nice 80-degree weather. Oh my gosh. And I know when the plant wakes up that morning and there's 80-degree weather in Virginia, golly, it wakes up like, oh, it's going to be a beautiful day. And then you come in water, you give that plant ample water. Wow, delicious. This is amazing. Starts to drink up the water. But if that seed is not in the right soil or is on concrete, will it grow? And the answer is no. So you need these 3 elements. So why am I talking about this? Because you aren't a plant, but you are going to grow. And I think you can make some parallels to this. And the reason I'm making the parallels is because I want to paint a picture, because today there's some work required of you. So what is the sunlight? If I had to think about sunlight, I think about illumination, meaning your eyes must be open to something. There's got to be some sort of inspiration. Have you ever had a light bulb go off in your head? Have you ever been in a dark place and had a conversation? Answer this in the chat. You ever been in a really dark place and you have a conversation with somebody, or you watch a movie, or you hear a message, and it almost like your eyes go from having scales on them to being able to see the marvelous light. I see it. I get it. Something clicked. Have you ever? Has something ever changed something for you and it turns the light bulb on? I can see now. You couldn't see before. It was dark. But someone came along or something came along and shone light on the situation. You ever be walking around your room, you can't find the lamp? Maybe you're in an unfamiliar environment and you're looking for the lamp. You might stub your toe. And I'm telling you, that is top tier pain. And I don't know what it is about something metal or a hard object hitting that pinky toe. And maybe it's just mine because I got funny feet. But that is some of the worst pain that you can experience. And get this, you take time to tend to this pain, and what happens? You stop looking for the light. You hit that little pinky toe, okay? And you sit down on that bed and you wait and you stop looking for the light. And if we can't see where we're going, the pain becomes much worse. Have you ever been rushing to get out the house? You hit that same toe, it hurts, but you got somewhere to go, but you keep trucking. My point is, when it's dark and you can't see, the pain hurts worse. But you need something to illuminate. Something needs to turn the light bulb on for you. We need motivation and we need inspiration. I believe this is what that light is. Sometimes on the morning meetup, and maybe throw a 1 in the chat if this is you, you've been extremely inspired, not by something that I taught, but something that you caught. It wasn't this thing that I said, but someone said something, and it turned the light on for you. And you're like, yo, your brain pulls all of your experiences mixed with something that somebody said, and it creates a new idea, and instantly it happens for you. You've got to get around the light. You have to get around inspiration. You have to get around motivation. This is the power of a mentor or the power of a coach. This is the power of that. The power isn't always the information that the mentor gives you. Sometimes it's the inspiration that the mentor gives you to go out and do your thing. Sometimes people come to me with ideas that I think are dumb. I don't think it'll work. This is just stupid. It doesn't make sense to me. But in that scenario, I never tell someone that unless they're on the hot seat. I don't tell them that because I know if they have enough inspiration, enough motivation to figure out this idea that I thought was dumb, they can go make millions. And I understand that about entrepreneurship. It's not always about the idea. It's about the person that's driven to make this thing happen. You understand? I feel like if you could have just got this rhythm spoons concept off the ground, you know what I mean? I feel rhythm spoons. No, it was genius. Rhythm spoons. They said they'll give you the soup for free, but you got to rip the spoons. Sounds crazy, but I go. I would go just to see how amazing these spoons are, because the spoons got to be amazing. Okay. So you got to find some inspiration. My question for you, have you found the inspiration, the motivation to go get it? Some of us are dragging, and I get it. You're on this call right now. because you're going through some things and things are really, really dark. I'm asking you, don't stop looking for the light because it's there. It's there. I've had some tragic things go on in my life. And what helps me get through this is my constant search for the light. It's a mindset. When I lost my mother, it just so happened that God saw fit to give me my daughter a few months earlier. What got me through this traumatic situation was me looking for the light. I lost the person that has known me the longest. I've lost the person who has fed me, who has clothed me, who has always protected me, always made sure I had what I needed. And it hurts. But I have been trained to look for the light. And I said, I am so grateful that before God took one, he gave one. How disrespectful would it be for me to stay in the dark, knowing that there's light right here? I got some light, right or wrong. This is what got me through. I said, I'm going to lean into the light. I'm going to lean into what I have. And that takes training. Am I right? That takes training to even be able to see. How long have you argued with someone who just loved to they fought to stay in the dark? You ever talk to somebody, you turn the light on and they turn the light off. You tell them how to get over it. Inspiration, motivation. You're trying to teach them, listen, you got to be grateful for the things that you have. And they say, let's turn this light. I'd rather have this conversation in the dark. I want to sit in this dark place. And sometimes people stay in the dark place because there's more pity there. People love the dark, man. People don't want to grow. Believe it or not, there are some people that don't want to grow. You know how I know? Because they get mad at you when you do. I've had that happen. When I was working at the Cheesecake, building my business, there were certain people in my life that did not want to grow. They wanted to have fun. And I did not want to have fun. It wasn't a fun period for me. I wanted to grow. And they got mad at me because I wanted to grow. And get this, every time I come around, I'm talking about this light. Yo, we can really build this business. We can really do some amazing things. We can if we work hard enough. And they did not want to hear it. Every time I turn on that light, they like, turn that off. Have another drink. It is what it is. So if you're going to grow like the flower that you are going to have to find the light. You need inspiration and motivation. There was a point in my life I talked about motivational speakers. I was like, oh, they just hyping you up and it's so dumb. I realized that there is a purpose. They have a really big job in this world to inspire us. So we need the light. Okay? Hey, listen, if you have the light, say, I have the light. If you're looking for the light in your dark situation, say, I'm looking. Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. If you are the light, say, I am the light. I like that. I like that, Khalil. Okay. All right, but we can't just have light for this flower to grow. We are also going to need water. So, in the Bible, it talks a lot about the water of life. So Jesus is at a well with a young lady, and she's talking about physical water, but Jesus says, if you knew the water that I give, this will well up into eternal life. Now, I do look at the water, however, as information. You have to continue to be fed by the information, because if you just don't know, you will stay in ignorance. Jesus was out here trying to give people the water of life, according to the Bible. But what was that? He kept going around and giving out information. He kept telling people about the parables and the stories, and he was giving out information. And once that information wells up in you, you are now armed. You can fall out of ignorance, but you have to keep feeding yourself with this water. You have to keep feeding yourself with information. That's why we're here, to give information. But every call isn't about information, because I want to give you some light too. Listen, you can go to a workshop and you might like it because they're telling you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps to tell you exactly what to do. You need that 100%. But the best speakers are the speakers who give you information mixed with motivation. So some people say, well, I don't want any fluff. Well, I'm here to tell you that the thing that people call fluff is mandatory. It's necessary for your growth. Because you can't have all motivation and you walk away with no practical steps. You can't have all practical steps without some sort of inspiration, so that when you leave, you actually go revisit those notes, you actually do the thing. You have to continue to grow with information. Are you truly seeking out information? I was in Phoenix yesterday, and I'm learning this software. And let me tell you, I am not a tech guy. I'm not a software guy. Too many buttons, too many things that it does and things that go wrong. Have you ever tried to build a website or build a funnel or something? It's always terrible for somebody like me. But guess what? I went anyway. Here's the thing. My initial thing, I pay the guy to build out my software, pretty much. I paid him. But I said, I need to go learn it, because if I learn it, I could be more effective with it. And Donnie was out there with me. She's like, yo, Dave, you don't need to do this. Because I was frustrated trying to figure this thing out. And she said, you need to hire some people to do this. And I said, Donnie, you are absolutely right. However, I am in a journey of gathering water. I want to know as much as I can to be effective in execution, so that when I do hire somebody, you can't pull the wool over my eyes, because I know. This is the whole journey of entrepreneurship. I've been gathering information this entire time, and people wonder why I can come up with an idea, come up with something, and make money of it, because I've been gathering information for over a decade of entrepreneurship. This is a learning process. I need to learn. I need the information. Never stop getting the information. Never miss an opportunity to learn. So let me tell you the caveat, and maybe I'm hypocritical now. So the event was 3 days, technically, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So Monday I couldn't go because I was on I guess somewhat of a missions trip. We went from Atlanta to Mobile, Alabama, which is like 5 hours away, with my church. And we went out in the streets and we just preached. There was a bunch of us and we did a bunch of studies. It was really, really cool. And I said, I'm just going to miss the first day of getting the information to feed another part of my life. So I go yesterday, and it was amazing. I mean, it was tough, mentally draining, but I learned information. I got it. I started putting this stuff together, and I was so proud of myself. And I was supposed to go today, but I made a decision yesterday. I said, I'm going home, not so I can relax and chill, but I'm so inspired by the light and the motivation that I've been getting over the last couple of weeks from some people that I admire. I'm taking that motivation. I'm taking the information that I got yesterday, and now I'm going to go execute today. You need them both. Somebody type in the chat, I want fluff. You need some fluff in those messages. Okay, information, but you need some stuff that makes you feel really, really good. I'm telling you. But never stop seeking information. Do me a favor, throw something in the chat. What do you need to know? What do you need to know? You are ignorant right now to something. And ignorant is typically a negative term. Like somebody walked up to you and said, hey, you're ignorant. You get defensive. But really, ignorance just means I don't know. And there's some things that you don't know that you need to learn. So remember we talked about it yesterday. There's some elements of growth. And somebody said, well, I need to get better at sales. You're ignorant to sales. However, if you learn some tactics of sales and you get on this call and you're inspired enough to go actively put this stuff into practice, you will win, period. Period. Am I right? Does that sound right? If you do the work, and you're armed with the information, and you've been inspired enough to actually go out and do it, you win. You're missing one of these, guys. I know it. You're either missing information or you're missing the light. I don't know. What do you need more of, y'all? Sunlight or water? Throw it in the chat. What do you need more of? Sunlight or water? I mean, we need them both, right? But for you right now, what do you need more of in your situation? I really need to go get some more information about a specific thing. Okay, come on, man. Let me get to it, okay? J-Dub, chill out, brother. So I want you to go seek this stuff out. I need water. I need information. I need to continue to feed myself and get a depth of knowledge in an area. Or, listen, I'm on every single website. I'm on every single webinar. I'm on every single course platform. I have enough information. I need to get around some people who inspire me. Thirdly, the flower needs the right soil. And I kind of touched on it, but it isn't impossible for a seed to grow in the wrong environment. Now, this is when, if I was in front of a crowd, and maybe I might do this. Let me write this down because this is good. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on, guys. Okay. Dang, I didn't think about it. But this would be my benediction. If you all weren't in the morning meetup and I was speaking on somebody's call and I did this, this is my invitation to come join the morning meetup, okay? Because this is what I would cue the organ, go on, play that little music that make people feel a certain way, and then I need you to come to the altar and get in this environment. Come jump in this soil, because a flower cannot grow if it's not in the right soil, the right environment. It can't grow in a toxic environment, y'all. Dang, I wish I had some of that music. But I mean, y'all already a part of the congregation, so. But hey, listen, mark my words. If you ever see me at a presentation, I do this whole little sermon, just know I'm gonna do this exactly how I said I was gonna do it. Trust me. You hear me? Point it. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Nella. Go on, do it. Go on and do it. Let me an A flat. Go. She really went and got an A flat, did she? All right, cool. Thank you, Nella. I appreciate it. Y'all always thought it was the funniest thing. No, A. No, give me a B. Okay, now turn that up a little bit. Tweak it a little bit. Like, yo, come on, Pastor. Just you know what you're doing, bro. But we got to get in the right environment. Now, the environment thing is tricky because it's not always physical environment. Right now, you are in an amazing environment because we have all positivity here, all inspiration, all information. The challenge is what happens when you leave here. So I want to say it was last Thursday we talked about it. Is either episode 408 or 406. We did something with our phones. And on the spot, it was amazing. We found out how much screen time we use on Instagram. And then we found out, wow, there's a limiter that you can put on it. So we've limited our screen time on social media to 2 hours. What's interesting is, when we first looked at it, my screen time on Instagram was 3 hours and 38 minutes. I will never forget that number. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, wow, I've been on Instagram for the average is 3 hours and 38 minutes, which means it's actually more because I don't be on it on Saturday. And like if I'm recording and all that kind of stuff, it's actually more. But I said, we're going to put this limiter on there. How many people put the limiter on there, on your Instagram? It only allowed me to be on there for 2 hours. The first few days, it'll come up and it'll say you have 5 minutes left on this app. Do you want to ignore this? I've never ignored it. But what's interesting is I haven't gotten that notification all week, because it's now a habit to not be on it. Why am I saying all this when it comes to environment? Because as you're scrolling, you're putting yourself in an environment, adopting the philosophies and the mindset of whatever you're scrolling through, whatever you're seeing, the videos that you're watching. You can go on YouTube and you start putting yourself in an environment. Some of you are just in the wrong environment after you get out of the right environment. It's almost like getting in the shower, getting dressed, and then go rolling around in the mud. You have to do your very best. And I'm not saying don't be on Instagram. I'm not saying don't entertain yourself. I'm not saying don't go out, have a good time, okay? I'm not Dave Ramsey. Go do your thing, okay? I'm not trying to restrict you. I want you to be happy. But some of all the inspirational work that you do, the being in a positive environment, we wind up going to a negative environment. We go from the church to the trap. We go from a positive, uplifting environment to a negative environment, and it starts to cancel itself out. No? Not gonna get too many amens on that. I can't get too many amens on that one. You guys are crazy. Protect it. There's an environment of the mind. Everything you see creates the environment of the mind. That's why I'm so impressed with the people who live in Atlanta that come to the live recording every single week. You're bound to win. You can't, and unless you leave this shower and go roll around in the mud. If you go from shower to shower, if you go from clean to clean, if you go from positive environment to positive environment, where you're getting the right information, you're getting the right inspiration, you will win. I want you to grow, but there's no way we can grow by planting you on the concrete. It doesn't work that way. Protect what you see, y'all. Okay? There's some really ratchet stuff that you watch on a regular basis, and you only look at it as entertainment. But when I tell you, there is a seed being planted in your mind and in your heart, and if you're around it long enough, you will adopt the philosophy. You will adopt the thinking without knowing it. You think you can make the differentiation. You can't. Listen, I'm very, very careful of the music that I listen to. Now, it's not as hard now because it's just I don't like a lot of this stuff now because I have a different palette. I have a different taste for what I want in my ear now. But be careful. Be very careful. I just want that to sink in. Be careful. Like there's a routine. You get in your car and you blast the music because you like the beat. But there is a message that is sinking into your brain and into your heart, and you cannot fight against it too long. Hey, when a group of people get together to do a crime, do you think they play Mary J. Blige? No? They're not like banging Trey songs, right? No? Definitely not listening to gospel music. When we about to go commit a crime. Why? Because that music inspires the activity. It helps it. I have to put myself in the right mindset, okay? On your anniversary, unless y'all just get down like that. You're not banging a little Scrappy the night of the anniversary, no? A whole lot of Future, unless that's how y'all get down. I ain't mad at you, Plan. I ain't mad if you try to knock and buck and it's Future Mask Off and we listening to like DMX. I don't think we gotta set the mood. No, y'all Busta, Busta? Word? Who listens to Busta Rhymes? Right? It's a Meek Mill. You know, I'm gonna try that next, my wife's birthday. Go out to dinner. We're gonna come home, get the kids to their parents, get the kids to their grandparents. She gonna walk in. Put your hands with your fists up. Put your hands. Like, baby, it's going down. I'm sorry. All right, so let me tell you, I was so far off track. I forgot the point I was making. I'm sure it was a good one. Okay, I'm sure it was a good point. But yes, what you let into your ears and into your eyes, they are gateways to your brain. Your brain is a gateway to your heart. It is all tied together. So just be careful what you listen to. Okay? I'm done, man. So listen, let's focus on, I don't know what you need. I don't know what you need, but go get some sunlight today, okay? Get around some people that's going to inspire you. Go listen to a motivational message. When we start talking about this water, let's let it be targeted today. Let's intentionally learn something that we're going to be armed with to go in. And then we just got to be around the right people. We got to be in the right group. We got to keep ourselves in the right environment. And I know, if we practice this by the end of this year, if we do it every day by the end of this year, the next, 50 days or so, you'll be rolling into 2024 with so much momentum, so much inspiration. You'll be feeling better. The activity is going to be right. And then the rest is history. Okay? Listen, tomorrow we got Q&A. We're not recording today because Donnie is out of town. I was supposed to be out of town as well. We were actually in Phoenix together, but we're not recording. However, tomorrow will be Q&A. And Friday, I'm starting a live YouTube show that I hope all of you tap into on YouTube. And we may have, some people that can sit around or something like that. I don't know. It's not like a live studio audience, maybe like that, but we're not I am recording Friday, but it's going to be live on YouTube. So we'll be putting the YouTube link in the app because we need engagement on the YouTube. Okay. That's just another thing that I'm looking to grow in. All right. So love you all. Nella, It is on you, my sister. Appreciate you.
If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.